Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sam Zagar. Today we're doing another YouTube reading. Today we're going to be reading for a 4/6 Splenic Projector. They had a decent intake for. Okay, what do we got? What's their biggest question? How exactly am I meant to guide people? Do I start by just sharing and not even having an offer until someone recognizes and invites me? Very specific projector question. Okay. Are you having a problem you need help with? I've tried to start an online business for the longest time, but never succeeded because of a lot of confusion about what I'm even supposed to do. I'm newer to human design. I finally understand a big part of my problem has been trying to initiate things myself. I'm still confused about what I'm really meant to be doing because I have multiple interests. I'm an artist, a writer, a former yoga teacher. I love personal development, teaching, coaching, and making the world a better place, etc., etc. I'm not sure how to even decide my direction for showing up and sharing online while I'm actually waiting for the invitations. Definitely sussing out what the vibe of this one is. What else are you curious about? I'm also in a process of cleaning up some really deep health problems. I've tried so many different diets, I'm still not clear what the heck am I supposed to actually be eating? Okay. Anything else you need me to know? Sort of a sub question is whether or not an artist and selling art actually should play a role. I have a love hate relationship to it because there's always something that feels missing around the idea of it. Just being an artist doesn't really hit the spot, but I love it and have been recognized for it. So I keep thinking maybe I need to find a unique way of doing it that's fulfilling. Yeah, let me sit with this for a sec. Sometimes, like, I get a feeling, right? I get a taste. I don't even know what the right word is, but like, I get a sense, if that's the right word. I'm being asked for clarity right now. I'm being asked for a lot of projector clarity. They want to be more successful in life. They want to be more successful in a business. They have a lot of different passions and interests. They're not quite sure which one of these things is actually supposed to make them successful and how they're supposed to go about sharing it or marketing it or presenting it in a way that has other people recognizing them. Okay. And not just recognizing them, but inviting them into things, compensating them into things. Where's the real success? I'm finally starting to understand that I've probably been initiating. Okay, why has this person been initiating? What am I looking at right here? I mean, obviously, the reason why this person has been initiating is because we've got a not self projector. And I'm not saying that this person is actually not self in any way, but I'm acknowledging that most of us do not live according to strategy and authority. In fact, we find this system so that we can kind of be like retrained in how to do our own strategy and authority. And so the training for the projector is you got to learn how to wait and stop, fake responding, fake initiating, fake like, I'll just do it myself. Really, that's the projector thing. Like, I'll just do it myself. But you realize you end up doing so much more than you actually have energy for. You get burnt out, you get bitter about things. And I'm dealing with a projector here that could definitely get burnt out because I don't have any motors, not a lot of power to this projector. And so I'm thinking if this projector's been initiating, oh, there's no power behind it. There's no energy behind it, which means if they have been initiating, it hasn't been sustainable. Projectors, not generators do things that are sustainable. That's the point of the sacral energy. They respond, they have a yes, they commit to it. It's sustainable, it becomes satisfying for them. This projector doesn't have that. And they don't have the motor to throat that actually has the power to initiate things. So if this person has been trying to initiate, it's been exhausting for this person. Now, also, I want to acknowledge a kicker of why they kind of think that they can manifest. Anytime somebody has a defined throat channel, you got to pay a lot of attention to that because it is very likely going to not sabotage their authority, but kind of like override their authority. The passenger kind of tends to identify with like, I am my voice, I am, and like there's a part of like, and with this person, I see this problem here, right? Like I've got their spleen that goes into their G center, and then their G center goes up to their throat. So I do have two channels going through the G center. So when this person speaks, there's a quality of like, this is who I am. And so we have a bit of a problem where they might end up over identifying with their vocal channels and the vocal channel because they're comfortable speakers kind of creates this wrong feeling or illusion that they can manifest. Just because there's a defined throat doesn't mean there's actually power to manifest the language. A lot of the times when this projector is talking, they're sharing and processing, but their authority isn't necessarily coming through their voice. So this is part of like, I'm sussing out right now where it feels kind of hard to be in this design, where it feels a little bit challenging to navigate this design. The main thing that stands out to me is that everything is in red. Like all of the channels are fully defined in red. Now, I want to say that one of the main things that stood out to me immediately when I looked at this body graph is that the three channels that they have are unconsciously defined, as in they are fully defined in red on the body or design side of things. And so there is no part of this person's design where there is a channel that is consciously defined. That means this person is always going to have a question of like, who am I? What am I here for? What am I supposed to be recognized for? It's very uncomfortable to be an entirely unconscious design. So when they're asking me this question of like, how do I even guide people? I understand where that question's coming from because they're like, how do I use these channels that I don't necessarily have conscious access to? It really creates this feeling of like when this person is invited, they're kind of like, who, me? You know, like it's almost like it surprises them because they're not that aware that they even have that definition in the first place. If you invite a projector with all conscious channels, they're like, yeah, right. Not like, yeah, right, but like, yeah, right. Like me, like I'm a good one. Whereas if you invite a totally unconscious projector, it's a deeper kind of feeling you're trying to suss out in them. It does have this kind of like, me? Like, I didn't know I had that kind of. So I've got someone who is designed to be recognized. So what we're recognized in, we guide with. So this is someone who's recognized in their perfected form, in their alpha, in their abstraction. So I'm going to deep dive into these channels a little bit. And I want to look at the channel of perfected form first. This is their authority channel. It's coming off of the spleen and it's individual circuitry. But it's not just individual circuitry as the primary circuit group. We're also dealing with integration circuitry. So it's part of a smaller sub-circuit. There is a huge emphasis on self-empowerment here, especially because I've got gate 10, which is a behavior of the self. So when this person is actually making their decisions, it has to come from an intuitive, instinctual, survival, immediate, in the now. Like there is this how I behave? Is this how I survive? Is this the behavior that will keep me safe? Is this the behavior that will keep me safe? Is this how I survive? I'm kind of like pushy about those, not voices, but like, what does the spleen say? What is it asking? And the reason that I do this is because it's one thing to be like, I'm a projector and how do I guide? Well, but it's another thing to be like, hold on. If I even get invited to guide, how do I know that this is the right job for me, the right role for me, the right position for me? Like, how do I know I should accept this guiding invitation? And for this person, it's going to come down to their spleen, and it's either going to go no, or it's not going to say too much. That's the interesting thing here. Like, this person, in order for them to make really good, healthy decisions that take them on their pathway to success, they have to be very attuned to being like, nope, nope, not safe. Nope, not the good behavior. Nope, not for me. This isn't who I am. I can't. Like, there's a very, like, is it healthy? Gotta go. Is it healthy? Gotta go. Get me out of here. This isn't safe for me. Like, those are really, really important questions for this person. But they're not necessarily pleasant questions. And it is the core question that I need this person to have in order to actually move forward on anything that they're doing. Like when they're saying, you know, I've probably been initiating a lot, I'm like, and how many times did it make you sick? How many times did it result in the wrong behavior? How many times did it? And that's probably why you're here. You're like, I can't handle that anymore. I want to be healthy. How do I get hired for like my guiding role? But my marketing plan always for like, especially for projectors, but honestly, kind of for anyone, but really, especially for projectors, is the four transformations. How do I actually get you to become the outer authority that you're supposed to be so that you're just automatically recognized to guide? I'd never like coming at this from the perspective of like, oh, based on this channel, you should be a painter. Like it doesn't work that way. I'm like, based on these mechanics, this person said they're interested in self-development. This is how you develop yourself. And it's not like this is my job on my resume and that's what I'm hired for. It's more like this is how I develop myself so that I can be recognized for what I am, so that I can be asked to guide people. My goal is to get you recognized, not to give you a job title. What are you supposed to be eating? I'm really glad that you brought that up, because that kind of in a way gives me permission to say, like, let's take this person back to their first transformation. Let's see if they actually respect their body. That's an interesting thing to say here. Like, do they actually respect their body? And that's a really jam-packed thing to say because all of their channels are coming from the design side. So let's see if I can acknowledge a few things about this person's body. How can I put them into their body in a certain kind of way so that they can just feel who they are more, and it's easier for them to walk this pathway without my guidance? This is a low sound determination person. It's actually a 5-5 because I've got fifth color and fifth tone. Not only am I low sound, but I'm feelings cognition. This has got to be like the seventh chart that has feelings cognition. This is crazy. What is with the feelings cognition people hiring me? Okay, so I've got a low sound and I've got feelings cognition and I've got a passive brain. Does this person actually respect their own brain? I want this person. It's so funny. I'm going to bring something else into this too. If you look at their environment is left. We have a shores natural environment. We have a quality of taste within the shores natural environment because I've got a second tone behind my six. The second tone is what makes it a left oriented environment. So I've got someone who's meant to be stimulated into this right level of activity at their natural shores. Now, shores being the sixth color environment, here's an interesting thing. You would think that the sixth color determination, which is direct or indirect light determination, we're literally acknowledging light or dark in many ways, light or absence of light, you might think that this is how you determine the most likelihood, whether or not it's likely that someone is a nocturnal being. If someone is indirect light determination, there is a very good chance that they are a very nocturnal being or a highly nocturnal being, but actually the most nocturnal of all of the beings is artificial shores environment. It's the artificial shores that is actually the true like nighttime person. So part of what I want to acknowledge here is like how we actually work with timing and also certain frequencies. Because I have a fifth color determination, I have someone whose brain is highly sensitive to certain sounds. And those sounds can determine whether or not somebody's actually able to use their brain the most effective way. This is limited information. These are supposed to be fairly short readings. Now, behind that fifth color brain, I've got a fifth tone cognition. So again, I'm with a very frequency-based thing. So how they eat and what quality in them it enhances when they eat properly all has to do with frequency. Now, being right, having a passive brain. This is a brain that is not super quick to come online. This is likely someone who might want to sleep in, or not even that they're actually sleeping in. I want to call it like laying in. Like this person is slower to rise. They might want to read. They might want to sit with a coffee. They might want to scroll their phone. But these are not the people that are like, okay, I'm up. Let's get to like. So when this person is waking up in the morning, I'm feeling like this person does not want to be rushed, does not want to be pushed. They don't want to be pushed to get up. They don't want to be rushed to go do things. But in particular, they really do not want the acoustics of being rushed. The last thing that this person wants to hear in the morning is anything that's like negative and trying to speed them up. Anything that is critical or judgmental and trying to put pressure on them. Feelings cognitions people are so acoustically sensitive. And what I mean by this isn't just like, oh, that's loud. I mean, like, they're like literally they're sensitive to tone. Feelings people are sensitive to the acoustic frequency tone. Literally, feelings people will always be like, don't talk to me with that tone of voice. I don't want to hang out with you now that you talk to me with that tone. I've lost my appetite now that you've used that tone with me. It's like if well, feelings people are sensitive to tone. It literally is in the mechanics in front of me. It's okay. It's literally right there. I could probably have done so much of this reading just on this person's brain. I got a passive brain, fifth color, fifth tone. And on top of that, we put that in a sixth line body in a 45-year-old person. This person is on the roof, okay? They do not want anybody coming up there to make them eat breakfast early or get up early or go do things super early. And don't get me wrong, this person literally might be up early all on their own, but they're not under pressure or productivity kind of stuff from other people. And like being a sixth line with a sixth color environment, this is someone who's like, please go away. Like, leave me alone. You shouldn't be able to reach me. Get out of my place. Like, so when I'm thinking about this, if this person's like, what am I meant to be doing? How am I supposed to be eating? I've had health issues. I'm like, ugh, yeah, we honestly, in many ways, we probably kind of have to take you not back to the beginning. You said you're newer to human design. You have a splenic authority that's like, is this healthy? Can I trust this? And it belongs to your body. Like, this is body definition. Don't get me wrong, you have 57 defined consciously in your Pluto and unconsciously in your other Pluto, but the entire channel going from 5710 is defined unconsciously. So, yeah, you're meant to be like, is this healthy? Is this healthy? And if you're like, I don't know if it's healthy, that's also okay and accurate. And it's going to take you a while of playing with this information to be able to suss out these signals and trust yourself. And then when it comes to like, how do we respect your brain and your body? You should be pretty hard to reach. You should be pretty hard to get a hold of. You shouldn't really have anyone in your environment that isn't a part of your network. If you're like, I really want to kind of just like not withdraw, it's not a two keynote, but if you're thinking like you just need space, you just need a lot of space from people, that's probably very accurate. And of course, you want to make the world a better place. You're a projector. Like, truly, generators make, like, literally, they're the makers. Generators make the world a better place. We, as the projectors, get to experience the better world that the sacral beings have the power to make. But the kicker here is the sacral beings don't know what to make unless we ask them. Of course, you want to make the world a better place, and you want to do it by asking sacral beings who they are. As the projector, your question is always, who are you? Who are you? And I don't mean it's the question of like, who are you? I mean, as the projector, my question is, who are you? We don't really care about us. And it's not like, I don't care about me. Like, I love me. You know, I care about me. But I don't really need to know about me. In fact, I'm like, well, I do know about me, but how I know about me is in relation to the recognition that I get for guiding other people. And I only get recognized for that when I do a good job of helping other people know themselves. That's the thing for projectors. We are here because people are interesting. Learning human behavior is fascinating to us. I'm like getting shorter and shorter and shorter as the video goes on because if I sit up, it's hella bright and it feels so good. Oh God. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that one there. On to the next one.